Hello folks, if you're just joining us, welcome to the All Request Show. My name is Justin Plett and this is the All Request live stream. And I asked everybody during the last live stream 3 days ago to send me in your live stream requests, and I got some really great ones. I actually learned a couple new songs today for a few people, and big shout out and apology to Jonesy. He wanted me to learn some Tyler Childers, and unfortunately it was in a weird guitar tuning called Drop D, which I don't know anything about. So until I can transcribe that song into a regular open position, you're just gonna have to do with your other requests, which I think were also really good, and they're coming up for you soon, man. So. Well, hello again, everyone. I see a few more people popping into the live stream, so I'm going to get the show rolling here, and I'm going to give you at least an hour, but probably more, because when I asked for feedback about a week ago or so on my shows, I asked for some recommendations, I asked for what anybody wanted to see, and for some reason, all the female responders commented that they wanted it to be a little bit longer. Which is weird because I've never heard that from the ladies before, but you know, it was the first time for everything. So we're gonna give you at least an hour tonight, and depending on we have a bunch of requests sitting and waiting on the set list, which we will get to for sure, and then we will maybe take a few live on the fly. So Chaz and Mac is in the house. What's up, Chaz? Nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. I have a light on the subject today, and I just repositioned it and stared right at it, which is awesome. So now all I can see are black dots. So this first song is going out to Eddie Divers. I think I'm pretty sure Eddie has been present, if you will, for all the live streams since St. Patrick's Day. So thank you, man. I really appreciate your support. I know Eddie is still working through this time, so I hope that you're being safe, man, and I'm glad you're still getting paid. It's good news, man. So thanks for this request. I think you'll know it. It goes out to all of the people who had tickets for this show that was coming close to our area here in southwestern Ontario, and obviously got postponed, just like everything else, due to the current situation. So hopefully you'll sing along to this one.
Perhaps that's what I long to see.
small sweet That's Ready Divers. Great request, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate the support. I know you can't see this off camera, but our cat was in the room at the beginning of the show, and 3/4 of the way through that song, she decided to leave. So I'm not sure if I should take that personally. She's just sitting over my left shoulder right now, kind of staring at me, basically rubbing it in my face that she's going to go upstairs. So thanks a lot to Scout, our cat, who has a pretty good attitude of her own, that's for sure. So, well, I see more people tuning in. Thank you again. I really appreciate seeing all the names kind of pop up at the bottom of the screen. I can't see them from this far away because I'm using my smartphone to record the show, because despite having a lot of different devices, the camera and the audio interface on my smartphone was far superior to the tablets. We still have an iPad in the house, even the laptops and whatnot. So it just goes to show you the amazing technology in those smartphones. And I hope the audio is coming through a little bit more clearly this time around, because I spent the last couple days just basically obsessing a little bit over the live streams, trying to improve them the best I can. Learning on the interweb about some tips and tricks. So I am fully and completely plugged in for this one, and I've been mostly unplugged for the other ones, or just basically capturing the essence of the room with a room mic. So this one is kind of direct to you, and hopefully it sounds a lot better. All right, I think my buddy Marty is in the house now, so for him especially, he was on the last live stream, and despite it being a full tribute to Bruce Springsteen, he popped a couple of requests up there when he popped in, and I didn't forget about those, and I promised that I would roll them out for the all request show. So this one is for Marty, and Marty and I go way back to the beginning of my music career. And he was working with me at an old, well, it's long gone now, but it was a restaurant and bar downtown London, Ontario, called Rockwater Brew and Barbecue, and it was my very first paying gig, and it was terrible. My old buddy Chris Peters actually joined me on that first gig to play piano, and we did our 3 hours, and we got paid $150. And I was blown away that they asked me back, because if I look back, it wasn't that great. And Marty was working there, and he eventually became the general manager, and I played there for a long time, and I had my first CD release party at that venue. And Marty, who's also a very talented graphic designer, did the cover design for my first album called King of Cups, and I've had tons of remarks about how great the cover of that album is over the years. So Marty, thanks a lot, buddy. This is a great request. Marty and I discovered Hey Rosetta together. We do fight about who discovered them first, but you know what? It was close to the same time, so we'll call it a tie. And it's a great band that recently broke up. They're from Newfoundland, Canada, but the lead singer, Tim Baker, went out on his own, so Hey Rosetta kind of still lives on. And this one's for Marty, because he wanted to hear some Hey Rosetta. a break in time. That half of bed, empty like my page, curses dreams you yet to make. Oh, promising life, bending like your spine, the weather snatch up and goodbye. Get these bandages off, you can't stand, you can't walk. Keep these towels and gone. You get out to the sun. That's where we belong. It's been too long. The weaknesses are always strong. It's always there. Water on your lips, livingroom ringtone singing in. Get these bandages off, let me stand, let me walk. Keep these towels and gone. Let me up to the sun. Oh, she will. Oh, she will. Come, she will. Oh, come, she will. Come, oh, come, song. Hey Rosetta, that's from Marty Novak. Thanks for the request, Marty. Appreciate it, buddy. So on the last show, the Bruce Springsteen show, I had a really great request and a note from some of my favorite people, the Bells of the Woodstock, Ontario, and their youngest daughter, Elise, had this request. I'm going to show you. So hopefully you can see this. It's probably backwards for you because of the way the camera is, but it says, Elise requested Felix Navidad. And Feliz Navidad, as you folks may know, is a Christmas song. But many years ago, when we were visiting the Bells, Elise and Josie and myself, their two lovely daughters, we sang this song, and it's become a little bit of a tradition. So even though it's not Christmas, and this is an all request live stream, I have to send this out to the Bell Girls because they're just the best and I love them. And of course I'm going to do that request for you, Elise. So I hope you guys are going to sing along to this one. And I apologize in advance to anybody who does not want to hear Christmas type music when it's not Christmas. And hopefully the following songs of this live request hour will kind of move it out of your mind. So the good news is we're not going to do the full song over and over again. We're just going to kind of run it one time through for you. So Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año de felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas, I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas, I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Stay Home, I wanna wish you a Merry Stay Home, I wanna wish you a Merry Stay Home from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año de felicidad. That's for Elise and Josie and the Bells. Thanks for the awesome request. Folks, if you're just joining the live stream, I will explain why you just heard a Christmas song very, very quickly. A beautiful young lady named Elise requested that song, and as I mentioned in, I think, my second live stream, I always have a hard time saying no to all the lovely ladies, so thanks for the great request. I hope that song doesn't stick in your head, and I'm going to do my best to make sure we move it out of there for you. I'm going to do a Canadian tune for you next, and this one is going out to the Tunenstress in Huron County. Betty requested this one, and Leanna and her family have been amazing supporters of mine and of live music in general. So I hope everybody in Huron County is staying safe and enjoying their time inside and with your loved ones. So this is a great Canadian tune. I would love if you can sing along in your house. And as I mentioned before, I can't hear you, so you don't even have to be on key. great Canadian tune by Blue Rodeo for you. And speaking of Blue Rodeo, I had an opportunity to be part of an amazing collective that was initiated in the London, Ontario area. And I don't remember the exact title. Forest City Musicians Association sings, something like that. But it's a great initiative that Gina Ferrugia spearheaded, along with great London musician Sarah Smith, and a couple other gentlemen, that brought together all of us musicians in our respective homes and had us lay a video and audio of us performing Blue Rodeo's song Lost Together. And they are in the process of editing all of that together for you right now, and they'll be releasing audio and video of that collective very, very soon. So I'm very honored to be part of that. I can't wait to hear it. I can't imagine the job of editing all of that together. So Ed, I believe Platero, I believe his name is, I'm sure I have it wrong, but he is doing all the editing on that. So thanks to him, and if I did get his last name wrong, which is very likely, I will correct that and give him proper props down the road, all right? So as mentioned, this is the all request show. I had all of the requests come in prior to today, some of them early today actually, and I will get to those for you for sure. If you're just tuning in, thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to like and share. I believe you can share the live stream. Somebody was giving me that advice to ask you to share the live stream. I think you can share it on your Facebook walls or other social media platforms or whatnot. So thanks again for tuning in, and thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. I should have a shirt. Share live streams, not COVID-19. And I patented that right there. That's a patent. It exists, so no one else can steal it. Unfortunately, I know a really great promotion t-shirt guy by the name of Phil Stone at Eclipse Promotional Products. So he'll be getting a call. I'm sure the Stones are tuning in as well. So Phil and Kath, if you heard that, we just went into business together. So Tara Clark sent through a request for Bob Seger. She actually wanted an entire live stream dedicated to Bob Seger, and he is one of my all-time favorites. The only problem with that is I don't quite know enough Bob Seger to fill the hour. So I'm going to learn some of that, and then further on down the road, there's a good chance that there will be a Bob Seger live stream show. So Terry, you stay tuned for that one. But in the meantime, this is my favorite Bob Seger song, if I had to pick one. And it's not as popular as the stuff that you know, especially Against the Wind, since it was in Forrest Gump, which is a great tune. But this is the one that I always get the most excited about when I hear. It's called Main Street.
All the
Seger for you. That's for Tara Clark. Great request, Tara. Thanks a lot. Alright, I'm going to play, as I mentioned in some earlier streams, I am very partial to the sad B-A-S-T-A-R-D songs. And I know there are kids watching right now, so I spelled that word. If you know how to spell already, do not say that word out loud. If you already said it out loud, send me video. Uncle Justin will teach you lots of words you're not supposed to say. Guaranteed. So one of my all-time favorite groups unfortunately broke up some time ago. But I had a chance to see them live, 5 times before they called it a day. And their original name, they're a good Canadian band, they were called Pilate, as in Pontius Pilate, which is a biblical term. And they got, so as far as the bass player told me after they broke up, they got some management who encouraged them to break into the United States of America market. And when they did so, there was another band or something named Pilate, or there was a conflict of interest, so they changed their name to Pilot Speed, P-I-L-O-T, Pilot Speed, and released a great album under that name as well. And then all of a sudden things were just done for them. And I fortunately had the contact information of the bass player, and he just basically said that the management that they acquired did not work in their best interest. So, which is a super shame, because I think that it was an amazing band, a phenomenal group of musicians, and a guy named Todd Clark, who was the lead singer, has a voice of voices. So, Katie Wilhelm, if you're watching, this is Katie's request, and I'm really glad that you requested this, Katie, because it's been a long time since I played any Pilate, and it's about time that we reconnect. So, this is a good sad song for you. It's called All Right, and I do hope that you are all right in this time. Should probably put it in the right key. Pilate, great Canadian group for you. If you don't know them and you Spotify or stream anywhere, you can find them under Pilate Speed now. And that the album that's off is called Caught by the Window is on there. So that was for Katie. Katie, thank you for the great request. I hope that you tuned in time to check it out. And since we're already in the falsetto-y type of range, I learned a new song for you. This was Mary Ann's request. And Mary Ann, as she knows, I call her Mary Ann Superfan, because she's an amazing support and has tuned into all the live streams and shared everything all over all the platforms and everything else. So she asked me a while back, she sent me this song a while back and asked if I could do it. And I knew the song and I liked it, and I forgot to try it. So I gave it a go yesterday. And this will be the second time I played it for you, so hopefully it will be decent. Risky. Just gonna tune up a little bit here because I feel like the guitar is a little bit out of tune. And while I do that, I want to say a very, very super amazing happy birthday to my mother in common law, Colleen Carlson. She is out working in the trenches, if you will. She is still working for Canadian Blood Services because the need for blood is never ending. So she's out there working right now on her birthday during COVID-19. So happy birthday, Colleen. Stay safe, be well. Hope to see you guys soon. All right. This one's also going out to Josh Jones, who wanted to hear some Kodaline. It's Kodaline from Marianne. As I mentioned, second time I've ever played it, so I'm sure there's room for improvement. But it's fun. I really like singing in, that's called falsetto, or the really high-pitched voice. It's a bit challenging, but it's very, very enjoyable. So thanks for that request, Marianne. I appreciate it, and thank you again for all the support. Well, folks, as I mentioned on some of the social media platforms this afternoon, I do have a big announcement that I'm very excited to share with you. And last night, as I couldn't sleep, which happens often sometimes because the brain just won't stop, I hatched a bit of a plan for this unique circumstance that we are all in. And it seems to keep dragging on longer and longer. So I guess I accepted the fact that this isn't a 2-week and out type of a deal. So I've hatched a really exciting plan. Going forward, you can now have me, Justin Platt, beam right into your dining room during your romantic dinner at home. So if you find that maybe you're getting under the skin of your partner or the person that you live with, and you want to improve things a little bit, I suggest that you host a romantic dinner where you cook or order in, whichever works for you. There's lots of delivery options right now. And you can invite me, Justin Platt, to serenade you through your dinner. And as I mentioned in my email blast, if you can't find a way to leave the kids out of the mix, I'm happy to perform over your family dinner as well. I can do some great family bonding time. Or if you want to invite your friends and neighbors, you can do kind of a watch party. So you can have me for an hour or so, basically beam into your living room or wherever you guys want to have a big collective community dinner. I can do that for you either way, through FaceTime or Skype or Facebook live stream or YouTube or you name it. There's a million platforms to do it. So, and the great thing is you get me all to yourself if you like, for an hour at least, and it'll only cost you $75. So that's half of my usual appearance fee if I were to come to your house, which I've done many times for folks during engagements or surprises or anything like that. I can beam virtually right into your house and play a private concert for you. So if you're interested in that, send me a message through the Facebook page or any of the other platforms, and I'll be happy to do it. There will only be one of those shows per day, and they'll be limited to 5 a week. So get them while they are hot, all right? I'll be sending out more information on that through the social media streams, so if you didn't catch that whole message, no worries, I will follow up for you. Alright, this request I've had a couple. I actually, 2 different people requested this song, so that means that they definitely want to hear it, and I definitely have to play it. And I really enjoy this song. I think it's really well written. Pretty much everybody out there knows it, so that also helps. So once again, if you're at home watching the show, or if you're just tuning in, thanks so much for being here, and feel free to kind of sing along, right? I have to get the song in my head. We all know the song so well, for some reason.
I wanna take it anywhere. Maybe we can make it to. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Better places better. Start until got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Be myself, got nothing to prove. You got the fast car. I got that gets out of here. And say just a little bit of money, won't have to drive too far. Across the border into the city, feeling like a broken child. Now I see what makes me living. got better stuff. Fast enough so we can fly away. We gotta make a decision. Need tonight, live down this way. Now remember we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, felt like I was drunk. See the lights stay out before us. We all felt nice wrapped around my shoulder, and I got that feeling that I belong, and I got that feeling that I could be someone, be someone. We got better stuff. We go cruising, entertain ourselves till they got a job. And looking among us to check out there. Nothing's get better. You'll find work and I'll get promoted. Moving out of the shelter, driving out to live in the suburbs. Now remember we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, it felt like I was drunk. See the lights lay out before us. Your arm felt like wrapped around my shoulder, and I got that feeling that I belong, and I got that feeling that I could be someone, be someone. You got better stuff. I'm trying to fix our best, they're drinking late at the bar. One of your friends in New York kids, I know it's all forbidden. We were scared you and me would find it. Got no plans, ain't going nowhere. Take your fresh car, keep on driving. I remember we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, it felt like I was drunk. See the lights lay out before us. Your arm felt like wrapped around my shoulder, and I got that feeling that I belong, and I got that feeling that I could be someone, be someone. You got better stuff. Fast enough so we can fly away. Gotta make a decision. Leave tonight, live down this way.
Great song by Tracy Chapman. Amazing request. I think it was Dan Bonsteel was one of the requesters on that one. So thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. I know Dan and Pauline, you guys have been amazing, sharing the live streams like crazy and gathering people from far and wide, all the way out to the east coast of Canada, to the United States of America. So thank you. I really, really appreciate you sharing the live stream and getting more people to watch. It's been fun, and I've really enjoyed staying in shape, so to speak, during this time, because it's easy to get sedentary. And as I mentioned a while ago, your voice is a muscle, and it needs to constantly be worked out for it to be amazing. So I'm getting a note from my esteemed moderator producer. I have requests for the Beatles, Steve Earle, and Peter Frampton. If we have time, I can do all three of those. How about that? And I guess the key for me is just to do less talking and more rocking. I did get a couple requests for Nickelback from the people I assumed would be requesting those things. So you guys are all removed from my friends list. And I called the COVID-19 tip line on all three of you. So be prepared for someone to knock on your door, all right? So speaking of my esteemed producer, moderator, my lovely girlfriend has been helping me with all of my live streams. And it's really nice to have someone here kind of supporting things, giving me the thumbs up off camera that everything is going well. and also sharing some of your notes and requests with me along the way. So this song is my lovely girlfriend Johanna's favorite Tom Petty song, and I don't play it very often. I do when she comes to my shows, and last time we had a show, it was my birthday show, and I shared that birthday show with Tara Clark, and I forgot to play this song, so I think that I should probably do it now before I get in trouble. What do you think?
My sister got love, Mary, you took him from you somewhere. Now she's a singer, being a singer. I can't sandwiches and words, but not me, baby, 'cause I've got you to save me. Oh, you're so bad, you're the best thing ever. In a world gone bad, you're so bad. My sister's that tough, can't get nothing. Walks around no face and word. Now he's got nothing, saving me again. I can't sandwiches and words, but not me, baby, 'cause I've got you to save me. Oh, you're so bad, you're the best thing I ever had. In a world gone bad, you're so bad. Not me, baby, 'cause I've got you to save me. Oh, you're so bad, you're the best thing I ever had. In a world gone bad, you're so bad.
Tom Petty for you. You're so bad. A greatly, greatly missed, amazing musician. Alright. Let's see what else we got on my trusty set list today. Cynthia Bendel requested an original song during the end of the last show, and she is my phenomenal photographer of 112 Photography, and she did my my last photo shoot, and then we've been scheduling one. It will happen this summer, provided we all get out of our houses at some point, because we both noticed, and well, she brought it up first, that the photo shoot that we did many years ago is a bit dated. I have a few gray hairs now that have kind of poked through. So, and for the record, you'll see my photo, my press photos, if you will, on a lot of the social medias. There's some gray hair in those shots, but when you compress the image down to the size of a business card, the gray hair goes away. So, if you have some gray hair and you, like everybody right now, are having a hard time seeing your stylist and your colorist, just squint your eyes really, really small, or make your camera really, really small, and all those gray hairs will just go away. So that is a hint for you. So this was Cynthia's request, And I hope Cynthia and Colin and the family and the dogs and everybody are doing amazing over there. Cynthia makes her living taking phenomenal photos, predominantly in the wedding industry. And I know, like myself, all of the wedding vendors are being hit extra hard with all the cancellations and postponements that are happening due to this time. So thinking about you and all the other great wedding vendors that I have the opportunity to work with all year long. We'll get through this, guys, no worries. And, you know, to use a very overused cliche, the cream rises to the top. So the best of us will come out on this A-okay, all right? So no worries, promise. It's an original song going out to Cynthia. Thanks for the request. That song is called "It Is What It Is," and it can be found on my very first album called King of Cups, which you can stream for absolutely free on all of your streaming platforms. And if you don't stream, you can purchase it through Google Play Music and iTunes and everywhere else, so it's easy to find. If you really just need a physical CD send me a note and let me know, and I will fire one your way. So folks, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to give you a little bit of extra time today. I'm not going to stick to the hour of things because I know we've already passed that. And I do have some requests to get to and a few more that flew in real time. So we're going to do our best to get you all of those. And this next song is one of my favorite songs going back to the 90s. And it took me a long time to learn this song and even longer to sing it. And it could still use some work, but I have so much fun singing it that I'm going to do that for you today. This was a request from Kasha.
Just like an angel, skin makes me cry. Flow like a feather, beautiful world. Wish I was special. You're so special.
What the hell am I doing here?
Great request. Thank you for that one. I really appreciate it. And yes, Eddie Divers, that was the radio edit. Yes, it was. And I will admit, that song is a lot more fun to perform with the original lyrics in it. But it is just after 8 o'clock. I know most of the kids are probably staying up way later than they usually do. Because no school, longest March break in history. And I'm sure the kids are pretty excited about that. So, all right, I think I've covered the requests that came in before the show. And once again, thank you for those. And I was given a few requests. I think the Beatles and Steve Earle and Peter Frampton. And we have more, maybe some James Taylor and some Trues. All right. Those are all really, really great. So thanks for those. I will get to as many of those as possible. But I will tell you that the next show is going to be in 3 days' time. And today is Tuesday, right? So Wednesday, it'll be Friday. Next show will be Friday at 7 p.m. So I hope you tune in. I will be blasting the social media to remind you, so no worries. If you forget, and if you forget what day it is, there will be a social media post telling you that the live stream will be tonight, as in Friday night, so no worries. But I got a few left for you. We're going to do some Beatles, first and foremost, because, you know, they're just that great. And should we do something fun? Yeah, let's do something fun. We'll do something fun. Say it again.
What are you doing?
I don't know that one.
Oh.
My girlfriend's trying to stop me and make me look bad on camera here. I'm not going to tell the audience what you requested. I'm going to... You know what? She requested I Want to Hold Your Hand. That was the song that she requested, folks. I have the microphone. I have the power. That's how it goes. Here's what you can sing along to. About 1/4 of the way through that song that it is one of the most ironic songs to sing on a live stream during COVID-19. So I don't think there's a lot of people wanting to hold anybody's hand right now. So I will chalk it up as some accidental irony. How about that? So Should we do some Frampton? Let's do some Peter Frampton. And this is a song that I have performed at a couple weddings in the past. One notably at Sandy Lane Resort in the Muskokas. And right on the beach with the water behind us. And it rained in the morning. And the sun came out just like for a solid hour and a half during the ceremony. And into the cocktail hour, which we were outside on a beautiful summer day. And right at the end of the cocktail hour, it started to sprinkle rain, which was perfect timing and moved us inside for the rest of the night. So I think this song had a lot to do with it. And I've had this request at shows before. This particular song is quite common as a wedding song. So if this is your wedding song and you are able to spend your time indoors with the person that you love, you're very lucky, and this one goes out to you. It's called Baby, I Love Your Way.
So lonely for my eyes, and the moon across the bay. Suddenly the day turns into night, far away from the city. Don't hesitate. Cause your love one way, oh baby, love way. I wanna tell you love way. I wanna be with you night and day. Oh, oh. One appears shining like the sky, with my hand on some firefly. One without the other, I wanna shine, 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 shine. I can see them. I can see the sunset in your eyes, round and round. Besides, clouds are stalking islands in the sun, sun, sun. I wish I could have one. I see them and don't.
Peter Frampton for you.
Hey.
I'll do some James Taylor as well. So our other cat joined us in the concert area. His name is Buddy Love. He's about 2 years old, and apparently he is a big Peter Frampton fan. Who knew? So he spent most of the afternoon sleeping, as cats do so well. And if you aren't sure how to conduct yourself during this time inside, and you don't have a cat to set an example for you, there are a plethora of cat memes, cat videos, and everything else on the internet. So all you have to do is type in the word cat, C-A-T, and you will be down the rabbit hole for hours watching amazing cat videos. And they will teach you how to properly hang out at home and enjoy it, all right? Naps are, I'll give you a hint, naps are a big part of that, so. And we're gonna do some James Taylor as well by request. So, this is one of my favorite songs to play, and it does get, it gets requested once in a while, which I really appreciate. And I think I mentioned on the last live stream that I cover well over 760 some odd songs. So I do forget what I know sometimes. And it's nice when people make requests because it will remind me of a song that I hadn't played in a while or whatnot. But this one does get a decent amount of airtime. So I'm just going to do a time check. And you know what? It's almost 8:30. And we did most of the requests, so how do we feel about making this the last song of the night? My producer is giving me the thumbs up. Okay, that's what I was waiting for. So folks, this will be the last song of the evening, and the next show will be Friday at 7 p.m., and it will be a tribute to one of my all-time favorites, Mr. David Gray, out of the United Kingdom. And David is actually one of the artists that put the bug in my head to maybe make music a career, because I was a huge fan. I love his music. I've seen him perform, probably at least 7 times, and I want to pay some tribute to my heroes at this time. So tune in 7 p.m. on Friday for an all David Gray show. And if you are a fan of David Gray and you want to make a request before the show, send me a note and I'll be happy to play that song for you, alright? So folks, this will be the last song of the All Request show. If you're tuning in late, no problem. You can head on back after the show is done. It'll be posted to the Facebook page and you can watch it anytime you like. I know some of you at home probably had to put your kids to bed during the timing of this show, depending on their age. Or if you're just really super cool parents, you let them stay up late because there's no school tomorrow, and maybe the later they stay up, the later they'll sleep in. You never know. So, James Taylor for you for our last song. Thanks again for tuning in.
Out this morning, wrote down this song. Just can't remember who to send it to. Well, I've seen fire and I've seen rain, seen sunny days and I thought would never rain. Seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. Always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me? You gotta help me make a stand. Just got to see me through another day. Body's aching, the time is at hand. I wanna make it any other way. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain, seen sunny days and I thought would never rain.
Well, I hope I see you folks very, very soon in person. If not, Friday at 7 p.m., tribute to David Gray. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to the Justin Plett Music live stream. I hope you guys are doing great over there. I know Government Ontario just announced another 2 weeks of, I'm not sure, I guess they're calling it a state of emergency. It's not really a lockdown and it's not quarantine because you can leave your house. They just recommend that you don't. So I hope you're safe and you have everything you need. Don't forget to take care of one another, and I will see you on Friday. Have a great night. Bye-bye.